So I want to show you what the peppers look like today. They're pretty good size now. Just like I had said before, I was going to let them get 3 to 4 times that size and wait for the temperature to be optimum. Well, it's almost May, and the weather has finally gotten above 50 at night on a regular basis. So I'm going to take a big chance here and go ahead and plant them out. I've got all my peppers here. Now this is my breeding. This is what I call sweet and spicy. It's a cross between lipstick, the open pollinated variety called lipstick, and my variety that I created, which is a Santa Fe Grande type that I call California Brian. So this is a cross of those two. So each one of these emitter holes are 18 inches apart, and all I'm going to do is just put the drill auger here, wrong way, and this thing drills in pretty good. It hits a rock, it's gonna, I usually use 2 hands, but I'm recording, so I'm using one, so I'm gonna go just a little bit. It does quite well, but it'll create a hole, and in that hole will go some of this Job's heirloom. It's just an organic fertilizer. No real preference for me other than that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to put some of this Job's in the bottom of it, and then I'm going to fill with some of this container mix here around the pepper plant and bring it up just a little bit. Here's my hole. I got what I think is, yep, 1/4 cup of this Job's. Smells just like fish emulsion. Nasty smelling. But I imagine the plants will love it. I'll just put that in there, and we'll put a pepper in there and cover it up. That's what it looks like. It's buried just a little bit higher on the stem here than it was in the container itself. And that's quite fine. First 32 are done. Got another 32 to go. Just show you quickly what it looks like. I've got the drip going around the perimeter of the fence because I'm going to plant some things around the perimeter, and you can see landscape fabric, nursery fabric, whatever you want to call it, that I've removed the outside edges, but still got to remove that, and I'll do that as I plant. Just help keep the weeds down. Anytime you plant something, of course, you should water it in. Make sure it has a good chance to get started. Right there is the inlet. I've got 1 T only right now in the whole garden. It goes all the way around the perimeter, and that reduces it to 25 psi for the whole thing, which is a good working pressure for this type of drip line. I'm going to put 4 rows between this side of the fence and that side of the fence, and what I typically use to make a straight line are tent stakes there with tomato twine. I think these are the ones I used for my pond that was built in 2013. Anyway, still good, still usable. What you'll see is that row there, string all the way down and to the right. That's where the raised bed corn, and I did beans 1 year too. I didn't want to fiddle with trying to fix my gas-powered tiller. It's been many years since I've used it, so I went ahead and sold it after, I think I bought that, man, a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. But anyway, I bought this little 40-volt electric tiller. I took a chance based on reviews, and that's what I used to plant tilled all the way around the perimeter. And it's surprisingly pretty good. So yeah, it's a 40-volt battery operated thing. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. Operates. Push this button and then pull back. So that's what I'm going to use to till each row. This tiller did 4 rows. I put a tape measure down there to show you the length of my garden, so you'll know it did 4 rows of 68 feet. 4 rows of 68, that's pretty good. And I hope you can see this. The battery life left on it has 1 of the 3 lights. I don't know what that means. But I'm going to attempt to do the corn area down there with the remaining battery. Let's see if that'll work. I've spread this was in the raised beds. The raised beds material is essentially the same. It's half rice hulls and half peat moss. What I've got in this container here is blood and bone meal mixed with hydrated lime and some, what's it called, the mineral dust. I forgot, it starts with an A, but anyway, I'm going to sprinkle some of that on the bed, and then I'm going to add some Job's formula on it. This is also mixed into every one of my holes that I'm going to plant the squash and melons in, as well as tomatoes. There it is, tilled and raked in. I had some worms in the bottom of the bed. Some of them didn't make it, but a lot did. And I'm really happy to see worms. Anyway, the corn's going to be a little bit before I plant it. The next thing on the agenda is squash and melons. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's some clicking over behind the shed. That's the injector going. And I have finished all the lines and all the rows. It's nice and dry so we can get to see wherever you see a wet spot. Hear the air pushing out of those. My concern is that this is too much line for it to feed both this main garden and the no-weed garden, so that's what this test is for. Plus I want to get the ground a little wet before I put the plants in. It's been going about 5 minutes and you can really see it now, the spots. These are my melons going in. This is one melon. I call it the moon melon. It's about 6.5 pound white cream colored round melon. Exceptional taste. This is the next generation. 58 melon plants planted just like I did the peppers. And it's late afternoon, late afternoon. And I'm exhausted. So no squash for today. We'll do squash tomorrow, hopefully. These are my squash. And they're all Madison's Cross, except for the 4 here. And those are what I called butterball a couple seasons ago. It's a round butternut that came out of my breeding. Got the squash planted on either side of the corn. This row and this row. I bought a couple cattle panels for this purpose. You see something that's pretty smart. I've seen this a number of times on YouTube. A lot of gardeners doing it. You emulate it, you copy it, and I think this is a really good idea. So I did. On one side, this side closest to me, the side closest to the camera here, I've got cucumbers on the other side, I've got long beans, red noodle long beans. And we're going to see how they grow up this panel here. On the back side of the fence here, coming in from the entrance over there to over here, I've got several kinds of okra. I've got Missouri Scarlet. I've got red burgundy. I've got a friend sent me some okra. He just called it bush okra. Thank you, Barry, for that. And red burgundy. Also, against the fence, starting from right in here somewhere, I've got two types of melon, Ashkirgosia and Quetzali. Both of those are old seed, and I wanted to see if I can get them to grow again because I want to save the seed again. The last thing I've done was over here. I planted 2 rows of Jade 2 bush beans, green beans. The only thing left I have to do is plant the corn, and it hopefully is germinating right now, microgreen style. I'll share that when I get to it. So that's all I've got left to do, and I just got to finish planting a lot of this stuff. So what do when you're done planting? You water it in. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll wrap up this video. I'll bring you back for the corn. And yeah, it's been watered in. Everything's pretty much planted, and I'm a happy camper. It's Brent, you guys. We'll see you later.